Old bones, Simon, old bones. Have to give up the chains, I think. Too much of a good thing. Now, here we are. Oriel window, second Wednesday of the month. Laughter. Demonic laughter. Oh, dear. A demonic laughter. Very well.
We present Edward Petherbridge as Sir Simon Canterville, Gwyneth Guthrie as Mrs Otis, and Mary Riggins and Eileen McCallum as Stars and Stripes in The Canterville Ghost by Oscar Wilde. Dramatised for radio by Nick McCarthy. The Canterville Ghost.
That's done that, then. Back in 2 weeks. An appearance of the long hall tomorrow evening. Things are not what they used to be, not at all. I remember such times here. Oh, a long time ago now. It's been a long career. It would be inappropriate to say other than an illustrious career. I am aware that a gentleman does not boast, and the Cantervilles have been gentlemen since the Conqueror, if not before. I think, though, with such nostalgia for those distant, far-off days of style, elegance, wit, it needed the same to bring off an effect. I will tell you, Madame de Tromelac was a guest here. Hardly a lady, I may say. Had a connection of some rather dubious sort with Monsieur de Voltaire. Not that I am for a moment suggesting that I am snow white and pure, not at all. One can hardly go through more than 300 years and remain spotless. But this Madame de Tromelac, possibly my best performance. Quiet, understated. Madame woke one morning in the blue room and found me sitting in the chair by her bedside reading her diary. Confined to bed for 6 weeks, brain fever, reconciled to the church, and abandoned her connection with Monsieur de Voltaire. I suppose waking and finding a skeleton in your bedside chair reading your diary is a little discomposing. Or the evening the wicked Lord Canterville choked to death on the ace of diamonds. Ah, well. Such days. Such days.
Hey, Annie, did you hear the news?
What news?
Oh, look, stop polishing and listen. There's enough polish on that panelling to last a lifetime. Sit down for a bit.
Typical. If you don't watch them, they take liberties all the time. Nothing changes.
What if Mrs Umney catches us?
Oh, she's too busy making sure she's kept on in the changes.
What changes? Come on, what is going on?
Lord Canterville is selling up.
What?
Never.
He is. He's a bit short of the ready.
Well,
So
what happens to us?
He can't sell. Canterville Chase has been in the family since, well, for as long as I can remember, and that is a very long time. He can't sell. And do I go with him or the property?
To an American.
An American?
American. Well, will they keep us on, do you think?
Dunno. Fag?
Fag. And in the long hall, that is too much. I never did like Raleigh and his habits, unpleasant upstart, nouveau riche from deepest Devon, and a roisterer. Tricky set of friends he had. Dangerous. Fag, indeed. I will not have smoking in the long hall.
His name is Hiram B Otis. He's the American minister.
Hiram B Otis.
Let me see. The head under the arm routine. No, too wearing. A skeleton hand on the shoulder. No. A skeletal hand through the panelling always works. Economical performance. Here we go, girls. Never fails. American minister. Oh, God. Can't be true. Silly girls got it wrong. Always liked the long hall. My wife hated it. Raleigh was here once. That fag smoke puts me in mind. Always going on about where he'd been and who he'd killed recently and carousing and attention-seeking. Very childish man. Always surprised me that Elizabeth didn't see through him. Wrote a little. I admit one poem I did like. Like to a hermit, poor in place obscure, I mean to spend my days of endless doubt, to wail such woes as time cannot recure, where none but love shall ever find me out. How on earth can I be expected to offer my appearances to an American? Americans, so vulgar. I was so looking forward to the shooting season. The wives sitting round with little or nothing to do, alone in their rooms, planning where they'd spend the night. A little walking along corridors, a little of the coals behind the eyes, the disembodied head routine, such amusements. I had a particular fondness for Lord Cheshire's wife. Came down last time and I thought she'd die. Only appeared for a moment. In her mirror. Very nice effect. Just a shroud and half the skull. Elegant. Now, Americans.
Skeletons, is it? And headless figures, no doubt. Where are you at the drink? Is that it, Mary? It is 11 o'clock in the morning, my girl, and you cannot have seen a skeleton hand poking out of the pipe. Well, where is it then? Come on, in.
Please, Mrs. Umney, I can't go in there.
Oh, please, I can't. Don't, I'm afraid.
There is no ghost here, no skeleton. There is the smell of smoke. Mary?
Oh, no, Mrs. Umney.
The lying cat.
Annie, was it you? I can distinctly smell smoke.
Oh, Mrs. Umney.
No standards, of course.
No. Well, I can tell you that I am not sure about offering decent references for you two when it comes to it.
References, Mrs. Umney?
I have been asked to stay on and to make recommendations about who shall stay and who shall not. No, Americans will not stand shirkers. Annie, finish the polishing in here and then...
I could not go back in the long hole on my own. I can't. I'm afraid.
I see. Well, you have been told. Americans expect service.
It's true, then. Americans. Not a gentleman or a lady amongst them. Their excuse is it's a young country. The youth of America is their oldest tradition. It has been going on now for 300 years. And so dreary dull they are. 'Twas the dullest time here when that lot were getting ready to go over there. One of the Cantervilles had a connection. My great-great-great-grandson, I should think. Preached a lot. Probably eaten alive when he got there. Can't abide the thought. Hiram B Otis. Well, we shall have to see about Hiram B Otis. By the time Simon de Canterville has finished with him and his kin, he will be demanding his money back.
Will you have another brandy, old man?
Thank you, no, sir. Now, a shot of whiskey would go down well. You ask the man if he's got any red-eye. That'd touch the spot.
I think it will have to be a Scottish whiskey, Mr. Otis. I think red-eye is not in the cellar. Indeed, I know it not to be, as I am on the cellar committee. Ha! Red-eye, indeed.
Well, I'm surprised to hear you say that, sir. Red-eye is a good corn liquor. However, where were we? Canterville Chase.
You have agreed to keep on Mrs. Umney. I'm happy about that. She's a devoted and straightforward woman, and a good housekeeper. You will find it rather quiet, though, after London and New York and so on.
Listen, I'll tell you something, Lord. I want my children to have the best, and so I bring them with me and we put them through school here. The twins are in your Eton, and my eldest boy, Washington, has just entered the diplomatic.
I congratulate him. He must have done very well at university.
Why, bless you, no, sir. He spent most of his time in Newport at the yacht club. That seems to suffice. The University of Contacts, I suppose you could say. He's a most excellent dancer, I'm told, and has a passionate interest in gardens and your peerage.
Well, I'm quite sure, apart from that, he is a most sensible young man.
Mrs. Otis and I are proud of him. She, I may say, was once the belle of the ball, Miss Lucretia R. Tappan of West 23rd Street, New York City. And in my eyes, she is still the belle.
I'm sure she is.
There is a habit, I understand, for American women to come over here to Europe and fall into a fashionable decline. Mrs. Otis declines to do so. In many ways, she is more English than the English.
Indeed.
It's a fact.
I suppose it is true that we really have everything in common with America nowadays. Except, of course, our language.
I beg your pardon? Oh, all right. Well, quite so. Now, my daughter, Virginia, wants taming a little, and the wild American edges knocked off her. She is doing the rounds.
The season, indeed.
She's a pretty little thing, though I say so, but she is something of a tomboy. The country will give her a chance to learn the manners of an English lady of property, and my wife and I will be happy just to have a little peace and quiet. I have a book to write.
A book to write. I see.
So I am delighted your lawyers and mine came to a sensible agreement, and so long as you are happy...
There is one small thing.
Yes? What is this small thing, Lord Canterville, sir?
We have not cared to live in the place ourselves since my great-aunt, the Dowager Duchess of Bolton, was frightened into a fit, from which she never recovered, by 2 skeleton hands being placed on her shoulders as she was dressing for dinner.
Now come along, sir. You surely can't expect a man of the 20th century to believe...
I feel in honor, sir, that I have to tell you that the ghost has been seen by several living members of my family. Also by the rector of the parish, the Reverend Augustus Dumpier.
Remind me, is he by any chance of the Free American Reformed Episcopalian Church?
I'm sure I have no idea, Mr. Otis. He is a Church of England padre, and that's all I know.
Fine. So, he says he has seen this ghost. He surely is not of the Free American Episcopalian persuasion.
He is, however, a fellow of King's College, Cambridge. After the incident with the Duchess, our younger servants never stay long. Lady Canterville has spent many sleepless nights as a consequence of the mysterious noises from the corridor and the library.
My lord, I will take the furniture and the ghost at valuation. I, sir, come from a modern country where we have everything that money can buy.
Yes, I'm sure.
With all our spry young fellows painting the old world red.
Old world, yes, quite so.
And carrying off your best actresses and prima donnas, I reckon that if there were such a thing as a ghost in Europe, we'd have it at home in a very short time in one of our public museums or on the road as a show.
I fear that the ghost does exist, Mr. Otis. Are you quite sure about that, Brandy?
A small one.
I fear that our ghost may have resisted the overtures of your enterprising impresarios. It has been well known for 3 centuries.
My lord?
Oh, 2 of the 89, I think, Parks. Thank you.
My lord?
300 years? Why, that's longer than...
Quite so. Longer than America has existed, yes. It always makes an appearance before the death of any member of our family.
So does the family doctor, for that matter, Lord Canterville. But I assure you there is no such thing, sir, as a ghost. And I guess the laws of nature are not going to be suspended for the British aristocracy.
You are certainly very natural in America, Mr. Otis. And if you don't mind a ghost in the house, it is all right. Only you must remember that I warned you. Ah, Parks, thank you. The 89. Good.
Thanks, Parks. Here's how.
Yes, indeed.
Come on, Miss Otis. Come on, Miss Otis. Come on now.
Oh, damn it! Where did the girl learn to ride like that?
I don't know, sir, but she beat you.
My, but you did ride her hard, my lord.
Oh, Miss Otis, you bested me. And we're all in bad odour, may I say.
Oh, sir, I hope I've done nothing wrong.
I think Lord Bilton means that the Row is hardly the place to ride races, Miss Otis.
Can you please stop that this instant? My name is Virginia, and we have known each other quite 5 days, and that is long enough for formality.
Miss Otis, may I ask if you will be in the country long?
In England? Why, yes. My father has just decided we shall settle for a time.
Then I would be pleased if you would be kind enough to be my guest. You and your father. And family, of course. I will write formally. We hunt on the borders, Miss Otis. I am master of hounds in the county, and I would be proud to show you some good sport.
As to that, sir, thank you. No doubt my father will be happy to hear from you.
Where did you learn to ride so fearlessly?
Reckless, some call it. I learned in Texas, where Papa was there for a time. There is space there, you see. I hope people have not been offended.
Oh, by what? By our racing down the Row? I tell you, it has been a secret desire of mine since I was a boy. Scandalized a few matrons, I believe. Do we mind them?
I'd not scandalize anyone for the world, my lord.
Then I shall take the blame. I suggested the wager after all.
I think one of the ladies we did shock, my boy, was Lady Cheshire. Your mother, my boy.
Oh, dear.
I shall see you both at the dance this evening, I believe. And your father.
You will, sir. Thank you for the race, sir.
Good morning, then. Come on, here.
He's a kind man.
Yes. Yes, he is. And he rides well.
Virginia.
Cecil?
I think I'm quite in love with you.
Now, my dear, we would scandalize them even more. You still at school, and me, well, not yet 17.
What does age have to do with it?
Nothing, of course. Do you mean it?
But Yes, I do.
Then I'm glad I scandalized the ladies. Made you say it. Now, we shall ride as we should, to show them that we can. And tonight, we shall dance.
Gallop, I promise you. A gallop.
On the Row? I cannot believe...
An American, it seems.
Your son, I understand, was there. The American child and your son were riding together.
Well, my son was merely being civil, Lady Callum. My son was doing as his father asked and escorting the only daughter of the American minister. I blame Lord Bilton.
He lost the race, I understand.
Well, I have no wish to know the details. It was as though hooligans and yahoos had been let loose among the better end of the park. Cecil? Are you dancing, my boy?
No, Mamma. I'm waiting for Miss Otis, Mamma.
I think you have taken enough of her cards, Cecil. The dear Miss Stonyhurst is by the door.
Oh, Mamma, do I have to? She's a fright.
You mean she breaks the rules and talks about books and ideas? There has been enough Miss Otis for this evening.
Yes, Mamma.
Shall I tell the children, my dear, or will you?
My dear Hiram, you tell. Oh, I do so hope they enjoy the idea of the countryside. Washington could make some useful connections in town.
So he shall. This is not country like home, 1,000,000 miles of wilderness. This is country like upstate.
Oh.
Nothing. You're gonna love it.
Mama, Papa, I was just proposed to.
Were you, dear? Well, you have a few things to learn before you do anything about being proposed to. First, Ginny, is to learn not to run when in a ball. You walk, girl, upright, steady, and stately, and aware of yourself, madam.
I'm sorry, Mama. I said no. I said not yet.
And who is this gentleman?
It has to be a secret, Pop. Do you mind?
So long as he's nice and doesn't pester you. No.
It's haunted, you know.
Beg your pardon?
The house. Canterville Chase. It's haunted.
Oh, my. You should see your face, Hiram. It's a picture. How did you know we were taking Canterville Chase, Virginia?
Well, in fact, Lord Cheshire told me, and he was told by his papa, and he was told by Lord Canterville because they're old friends. And he said you didn't mind about the ghost. And isn't that just romantic, Mama?
You said nothing about ghosts, Hiram.
And now, my dear Virginia, go along and dance with someone, will you, please?
I want to go, Pops, but he's been told not to dance with me anymore, and I don't want to dance with anyone else. And anyway, I feel cooped up in all this frippery.
I declare, Virginia, it'd break your mother's heart if she hadn't been just exactly the same as you when I was your age. Hiram, the ghost.
Sorry, Pop.
Last.
Hiram, I'm not saying I believe in ghosts. I just think maybe you could have consulted me. That is all I have to say on the matter.
Mama, we want a ghost. Who's the ghost of, anyway?
I bet it's a lady who lost her love. Maybe he was executed and she's doomed to walk the chase looking for him.
No way. Girls. Romantic tosh. Ever since you met that Duke kid, you've been mooning about.
I have not so.
You have so.
Order. It's my opinion that ghosts, or the phenomena called ghosts commonly, are nothing but naturally explicable events.
Exactly, son. Now you listen to Washington. He talks sense.
I just wanted to register the fact that I am not a... Oh, Hiram.
Yes, dear?
Oh, this is... it's quite lovely.
I thought you might think so, my dear. Am I forgiven?
Forgiven? For what, dear?
The ghost.
Oh, that. I'm sure Washington is right. Natural explanations for a natural phenomenon. Oh, you're forgiven, Hiram. It is beautiful. It even keeps the stars and stripes quiet.
Oh, come on, Mama. It's just... It isn't bad. Oh, and gee, look at that. Down there.
Yes?
Down in the end of that... That's it, isn't it? Yeah. That house, that big old... It's got a tower and a lake. And is that really Canterville Chase?
It is.
I bid you welcome to Canterville Chase. Oh, Mrs. Omni. Now, I am Mrs. Otis, and this is Washington, my eldest boy.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
And Virginia, my daughter.
Ma'am.
And the twins, the stars and stripes.
Oh, no.
Call that, Mrs. Umney, on account of the number of times they seem to get swished at Eton. I hope you will be happy here. It is the first time for over 300 years that the family is not in residence.
The family?
The Canterville family, sir. Times change, of course. I laid tea in the library, if you'd care to follow me.
Say, look! Is that real? That sort of armour?
Oh, yes, it is. Simon de Canterville's, worn at a tournament at Hampton Court.
Wow!
Kenilworth. Oh, she always gets it wrong. And the Virgin Queen herself was most complimentary. And... Americans.
If you'd like to make yourselves at home, I'll pour the tea for you, and I can show you around after, madam, if you feel you'd like to. Oh, that will be fine, Mrs. Umney. Oh, you know, I feel at home already.
All these books. Some reading here, Washington.
It's old stuff, sir. Nothing here for the scientific mind.
Oh, we have Mr. Newton's work, sir, and a treatise by Copernicus, I think. We are not exactly deficient in science, sir.
I meant modern science, Mrs. Umney. Ma'am.
Excuse me. I don't wish to be picky, Mrs. Umney, but isn't that a stain by the fireplace there? As if something had been spilt? It has been, madam. Blood was spilt on that spot. Oh, how horrid! I don't at all care for bloodstains in city rooms or libraries. It must be removed at once. It is the blood of Lady Eleanor de Canterville, who was murdered on that very spot by her own husband, Sir Simon de Canterville, in 1575. Oh, my! Sir Simon survived her and disappeared suddenly under very mysterious circumstances. Wow! His body was never discovered, but his guilty spirit still haunts the chase.
Guilty? I felt no guilt whatsoever. I had very good reason for cutting her throat, as it happens. Very good reasons.
Is he the ghost, Mrs. Umney?
Virginia! The bloodstain, ma'am, has been much admired by tourists and others and cannot be removed.
Nonsense. I have the very thing. Pinkerton's Champion Stain Remover and Paragon Detergent will clean it up in no time. Now, I had a stick in my pocket. I know I did.
I don't believe this. He's not actually going to try to remove... I believe he... I won't have it. I will not have it.
Here we are, ma'am. Never be without a stick of this. Watch. Apply it to the stain. And rub it around. And presto! Gone!
300 years wiped out in seconds. Those bloodstains were all I had to remember her by. Dear Eleanor, she may have been every sort of adulterous hussy. None of us were exactly fussy at the time, but she was a link. She was family. And this American upstart. Well, we shall see about that.
I knew Pinkertons would do it.
Oh, it's certainly rather close, isn't it? No good will come of that. None, Mr. Washington, sir. You should not have done...
Oh, was it lightning?
Well, what a monstrous climate. I guess the old country is so overpopulated, there's not enough decent weather for everybody. I've always been of the opinion that emigration is the only thing for England.
Is the old lady all right?
Hiram, what can we do with a woman who faints all over?
Charge it to her, like breakages. She won't faint after that.
Well, that was a nice effect. Very nicely timed, I felt. And served them right to interfere with. No. Where did I put that stain? Yes. A little drop of oil. Some rennet. Yes, it's foul stuff, but he won't get this up. A red ochre. Good. Not exactly yours, Eleanor, my dear, but at least something in fond memory. Good. They're in bed and I can repair the damage they have done. Through the wall. So convenient. We'll have to forgo the clanking chains tonight. One can paint the lily, I suppose.
Hey, Molly, my idea. Me first. By half a minute, it was my idea.
Yes, sis.
I know what you're going to do, and I suggest you take one each.
Oh, yeah.
I never saw such perfect banisters in
Right, sis.
Woo! 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 Woo!
Oh, boy.
Good morning, boys. Breakfast is in the dining room. Help yourselves.
Thanks, Mrs. Omni.
Good morning, Mrs. Umney.
Good morning, miss.
They are not always so noisy.
Oh, high spirits in a boy is no a bad thing, I'm thinking. Now, miss, I think you'd be as well to look in at the library. Your big brother might be interested, I'm thinking.
Virginia, Mrs. Umney thought I might be interested
It's back. The stain. The blood stain.
Oh, he can't be back. Good Lord.
Do you think... maybe the paint and stain remover really didn't work.
It worked, Virginia. This is something out of the ordinary. We'd better tell the others.
You are quite sure, Washington?
Virginia, she saw the stain. It is there.
I'm gonna lock you.
Wait for me.
Twins, you will finish your breakfast and then you will ask if you can get down, my dear Hiram. I'm not sure what this eating is doing for their manners. Did you hear me start? Angels?
Now then, that caused me a sleepless night. This goes to show, Hiram B Otis, you don't know everything over the water. And tonight, you shall have a special performance, I think. Just to seal the matter.
There is no doubt about it.
I admit I am baffled. I locked the door last night.
You locked it. But then how?
Maybe, my dear, we have been too sanguine about ghosts and their lack of reality. Maybe I have been a trifle dogmatic in the matter.
I shall write to the Psychical Society this instant. I intend to find out more.
I did warn you, madam. I have seen things with my own eyes, sir, that would make any Christian's hair stand on end. And many a night I have not closed my eyes for the awful things done here.
Murder? Pillage? Twins, go and play. Outside, fresh air for everyone. It's a lovely day, and I suggest you go and explore the grounds. Mrs. Omni, you and I have things to discuss. Hiram, you will need to see to your study. And Washington, well,
I have a letter to write to Messrs. Mayers and Podmore, makers of the removal stick, on the subject of the permanence of sanguineous stains when connected with crime. Good morning, Mama.
We shall keep this door locked, Mrs. Umney. And before you go, Washington, kindly leave me the detergent stick that I may remove the stains again.
I'm not sure that's wise, sir.
That, Hiram B Otis, is a declaration of war. Rubbing out the memory of dear Eleanor once may be regarded as carelessness. To expunge her twice looks like malice, and the de Cantervilles do not turn away from such a challenge. Locked doors, indeed. Locked doors. The old fool.
I don't believe in ghosts. It's a fix.
Yeah. Tell you what. We could fix it back. Trap it.
Wow! What an idea! And even if it's a real ghost and we trap it, we'll be famous. We could show it. Make a fortune.
Now, we need to plan it very carefully, okay?
Yeah.
And just you and me.
What happened to Virginia all of a sudden? She was a great kid for a girl. Now she's gone all funny.
Yeah, I know. Well, I guess girls get like that. It's ever since that Duke fella started being around. He's soft on her, that's sure.
Pity. She'd have loved to come in on a ghost trapping expedition.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to it.
Needs to be effective. Not too subtle. Something special. God, I'm out of practice, and that's a fact. Haven't had many good hauntings to do recently. The head under the arm. Very ordinary. Rather common. The skeletal head. Vulgar. The shroud. Nice. But a little lacking in... Americans like a little show, after all. I have it. The white face, eyes like burning coals. Good, good. Long hair, grey, matted to the shoulder, yes. Manacles, greaves. Oh, yes, a masterpiece. Yes, and a long, trailing chain. Effective, tasteful, noisy. Good. Good. I think you deserve a rest, Simon, before the show. Wait a minute. Where am I exactly? Let's think. Sitting room, yes. The panel's in the sitting room, and there's someone there.
Go away, Mama.
Maybe I can put an arm through and frighten a maid or two.
He'd marry me if I'd like him to. And I said, of course I would. And we were only funning, Mama. And someone heard, and Lord Cheshire said no son of his was marrying a jumped-up colonial. And sent him packing to Italy for the school holidays. And what can I do?
My dear child, nothing. Wait.
But, Mama!
Look, he'll write to you. I know. We shall invite him for the last week of the holidays.
Oh, Ma, will you?
Yeah.
He really is nice, and I'm so fond of him. I know it's silly, all that marrying stuff and all, but it was only fun.
You're sure?
No, Mama. I'm not sure.
Ah, sweet love, sweet love. Oh, how this spring of love resembleth the uncertain glory of an April day, which now shows all the beauty of the sun, and by a cloud takes all away. She is a sweet child, innocent. It's a time since you heard an innocent voice, Simon de Canterville. Lord Cheshire, by God's blood, I know his great, well, a grandfather of his. He swore he'd kill me in the lists, I remember. But she is a sweet girl.
Mama, did you see this in the window? There's a verse cut in the window. Listen. When a golden girl can win prayer from out the lips of sin, when the barren almond bears, and a child gives away its tears, then shall all the house be still, and peace come to Canterville. What does that mean, Mama?
Oh, yes, my dear child. What does it mean indeed? I'm so tired. To sleep, perchance to dream. Ben, was it? Oh, that country lad. Come along, Simon, work, my boy, work to do. Check over. Eyes, yes. Hair, shroud, nicely tattered. Manacles, chain for trailing, good. Give it a little time to settle down, and then we'll settle a score or two. Hiram B Otis.
Mrs. Otis? Is that you?
Oh, my dear. I've just woken up. Oh, I hear a noise like... What is that noise?
Oh, dear, wait a minute. find my slippers. Oh, good. Where did I put that stuff?
What stuff, dear?
In my dressing case.
Oh.
Hold on. What's the time? Oh, that's inconsiderate of him. 1 o'clock. Right.
Oh, you be careful, you hear?
You stay there, dear. I'll be just fine. My dear sir, just stop cackling for 1 minute and listen to me, will you?
What is it, darling?
Oh, the ghost, I guess. Red eyes like burning coal, long gray hair, matted, a shroud thing and chains.
You take care now, Hiram.
Oh, now see here, if you're going to go on prowling about the corridors of the house, fine and dandy by me. But I really must insist on your oiling those chains. I have here for that purpose a small bottle of the Tammany Rising Sun lubricator. It is said to be completely efficacious upon 1 application. There are several testimonials to that effect on the wrapper, sir, from some of our most eminent divines. I shall be happy to leave it here for you by the bedroom candles, and be happy to supply more should you require it. I should also advise something for that throat. Good night, sir.
Be damned to his Tammany lubricator. Be damned to them all. The insult! The insult!
Is he coming? Near the stairs. Look at that face. Wow. Hold your fire. He's going green and blue and just listen to him. Wait till you see the whites of his eyes. The red, you mean. Pillars ready. Ready.
Fire! My, oh my, did you see it? He vanished into the wall. I wonder how Washington's going to explain that away. That was a ghost.
In 300 years, in all that time, I have never been so humiliated in a career of considerable, no, great brilliance. I have never been so insulted. I am the Dowager Duchess, frightened into a fit when she but had a glimpse of me in her mirror. Sir William Gill, a martyr to nervous disorders. Lord Canterville, my masterpiece, choking in his dressing room with a knave of diamonds halfway down his throat. Died indeed, and confessed he cheated Charles James Fox out of £50,000 using that very card. He admitted it was me who made him swallow the card. Lady Stutfield always wore black velvet bands at her throat. I enjoyed that. She had to hide the marks of 5 fingers burnt there. She drowned herself eventually. Oh, yes, those were the days. Red Reuben, Gaunt, Gideon, the bloodsucker of Bexley Moor. Oh, yes, those are the days indeed. Simon de Canterville, you had some great performances behind you, my dear. Ah, you're going to let a ragtag of Americans best you? Remember the furore when you played 9-pins on the croquet lawn with your own bones? Oh, yes. Yes, I shall have my revenge. I shall.
Very well. Grace.
For these thy gifts and all good things, we thank you, Lord.
He spurned my offer. I'm most disappointed.
I
really
saw him
thought
not
he might be a
dreaming.
gentleman.
What do you know? Really saw him.
One at a time?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Good. Twins?
We laid an ambush for him. He fell right in it. It was wonderful. He was moaning something awful, and it was green in the face. We got him with 2 pillows, and I think we hit him with the pea shooters as well. He just vanished. Moaned and vanished through the wall.
Now, I know you're pulling our legs.
They are not pulling your leg, Washington. I saw him myself.
You don't say, sir.
I did. Eyes glowing like coals, long gray hair, and a shroud all tattered hanging from him, and chains all over.
Well, I'll be...
Washington?
Blessed, ma'am. I'm blessed.
So, we have us a ghost. Genuine article. And if he goes on refusing to use the Rising Sun lubricator, then we're going to have to take his chains from him. It'd be quite impossible to sleep if he's doing that every night.
Well, I think it's a shame. I do. Tormenting him and threatening him, and what's he ever done to us except try to protect his own?
Oh, my dear child, there's no need to upset yourself so.
How would you all feel if we were in his place? He's been in this house years and years and years, and we come and we say, do this, do that, do the other thing? I think I'd be mad as he must be. And think how lonely he must be, too. Alone for all that time.
You did cut his wife's throat, Ginny.
He may have had good reason. It was a different time, after all.
We don't aim to hurt him, just have a bit of fun.
Well, I think everyone's been mean. Very mean. Excuse me.
Well, I'll be...
Hiram?
blessed. But what has got into the girl?
Oh, she's just growing up, Hiram, is all. Now, finish your breakfast and get ready for church.
Good morning, Mr. Otis, I believe. And family.
Hiram Otis. Reverend Dampier, I believe. My family. Mrs. Otis.
Good day.
Mrs. Otis.
Washington, my eldest boy.
How do you do, Reverend?
Virginia.
Good morning, Reverend.
Virginia.
And the twins.
Morning, sir.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
Nice to see you.
I can tell you their names, but I can't tell them apart myself, so no point in bothering you with them, sir.
Oh, we wondered if you'd care to take supper with us this evening, Mr. Dampier. Kinda get to know each other.
Well, that's most kind, thank you. Yes, I'd be happy to come.
Back home in the Free American Reformed Episcopalian Church, there's plenty of good fellowship and visiting, so we look forward to it. Oh, by the by, the ghost?
The ghost?
We understood that you had seen it.
Well, I don't broadcast it, Mrs. Otis. Some of my flock would be upset. But I have seen something. Have you?
We'll tell you later. Over dinner. Have a nice day, sir.
Oh, yes, of course. And you, of course. All of you.
And I've tried again and again with the stain remover, Mr. Dampier, and every time the stain comes back.
Well, yes, I think perhaps that some things are best left alone, if I may say so.
More wine?
Oh, but are you not taking any, Mr. Otis?
I don't drink, Mr. Dampier. I promised my father, and so... But don't let me prevent you.
Thank you. It is a very good wine.
It should be. I bought the cellar here as well. I thought you might as well enjoy it.
You think we should leave him alone?
Well, I think, young lady, that maybe if there is anything, and I believe there may be, that he is particularly malevolent. People have died, choked to death, gone mad. Wow. All as a result of his appearances.
Did they deserve to?
Well, now, as to that, it's hard to say.
Mrs. Umney, the housekeeper, told me they were all guilty of something. Cheating, lying, theft, murder even. What I mean is, can't we just leave him alone? Let him settle down and he might even begin to like us. I mean, none of us is a thief or a murderer or anything.
No, well... well, I don't know what to say.
Nothing is going to deprive me of sleep. That's it and all about it, Virginia. Your precious ghost is a nuisance and has to be dealt with.
Nothing to worry about, Ginny, dear.
Hiram, what are you doing with that thing?
That thing, my dear, was my granddaddy's peacemaker. It's oiled, it's loaded, and I know how to use it. Come on, boys. Washington, Bring the candelabra.
Right away. Let's go.
Get your hands up! Come on, get him up!
Leave him alone! He's hurt, poor thing!
Get him, Stripes!
Put those blank pea shooters away and leave him alone! He fell over the armor. He's hurting!
Don't give a hoot! You see here, ghost. Hey, now! Hold on now! Washington! The light!
Help! Help me! I'm afraid!
I'll get the matches.
Mrs. Otis! The candles! The candles from the table! We need some light on this! Get off! You leave me alone, sir! Oh, my fingers on my throat! By the Lord! Harry, I will not have this in my...
Hiram, here's the lantern you wanted, my dear. Now, oh my, but he's skin and bone, poor thing. Now, you come downstairs here this instant, and I can help you. Oh, that is a bad throat. I'm sure you're not well. Now, I happen to have about me a bottle of Dr. Dobell's tincture. If it's throats that hurt, this will do it. If it's indigestion,
bad throat. I could give it a bad throat
do
indeed.
You will find
If
it
I
the
could
most
turn myself into the hound of hell, that should do it. My most renowned accomplishment, this. Drove Lord Canterville's uncle, the Honourable Thomas Alton, into permanent idiocy.
Get off.
Too late! They are such vulgar children, no taste. And for that woman not to know the difference between a bad case of indigestion and the most accomplished graveyard moan is not, I suppose, surprising.
Well, gone again. Well done, boys. Where's the Reverend?
Sitting at the table, Hiram, taking another glass of wine. I think he's a little overcome. I suggested a dose of the Dobells. He tells me the wine will do more good.
I think we may well have seen the last of him. I'm not sorry. Now, Virginia, don't take on so. No one came to any harm.
He did. The ghost did.
Oh, dear. Boys, sort out the armor he knocked over, will you? I'll see about taking the park home.
It's not the vulgarity. It isn't even the materialism of them all. I just wish once, I could have worn that suit of armor. I was so proud of that suit. German made. And Italian. Very fine piece. My spectre in armor would thrill any heart, even an American one. Longfellow would have enjoyed it. You read a lot of poetry when you've got 300 years. The secret anniversaries of the heart. 300 years and so many more to come. I sometimes feel so tired out, exhausted. So it's never ending. I wore that suit of armor at a tourney in Kenilworth. She was there. My queen. The Virgin Queen, they called her. Well, it was a name. She complimented me on my appearance. That fool Raleigh was away on one of his interminably boring voyages. She came to me and put her hand on my arm. And I was very proud of that. And now, when I want to show the Americans something special, the suit has become too heavy for me. I'm growing frail. I'll soon be reduced to shrouds and sheets and the usual boring things. So sad to grow old and weak. That's death, I suppose.
young man.
Good morning.
Mrs. Otis is in the garden. The boys are preparing some trouble somewhere. Mr. Otis is trying to write his book, and Virginia is here.
You came then.
They sent me to Italy, Virginia. Frescoes everywhere. I shall go mad if I see another fresco.
Mrs. Omni, Mama did tell you we had a guest.
Oh, she did, miss. And you're welcome to Canterville Chase, sir. Oh, I'm somewhat amazed you should come by with your name, but on your own head be it.
Oh,
Virginia.
No further than Florence, Indiana, young man, and lucky to do so in those days. In America, young men are expected to get and get on. That's democracy.
Ah, well, sir, here, fortunately, young gentlemen are expected to go about and to do little else. That's aristocracy.
Oh, you're pulling our legs, young man.
I've heard it said at the yacht club, Mama, that we could do with something of that sort in America. No, I'm not saying, Todd.
I don't want to hear any more. It may be all right in England, but in an advanced country like ours, it's close to heresy.
What did Mrs. Omni mean about being surprised you came here with your name?
I don't know, Virginia. Not a clue. Where are the twins?
You can't possibly want to know, Cecil. They're ghost hunting, if I know them.
They're being horrid to him. You know we have a ghost here.
I've heard stories, yes. But everyone in a decent house in England says they have a ghost. It's all bunk.
I assure you, young man, this is not bunk.
You haven't seen him?
Twice?
In the, flesh, so you might say.
Mm-hmm.
Virginia, they're ragging me.
No. He's sad and they make his life a misery. It wasn't misery enough already dragging those chains around and matted hair and wearing old rags. It's sad to see.
I can't do the second Wednesday moan from the oriel window. I just can't do it. I'm quite worn out. Wait, down there on the lawn. I swear it's the spitten image of Francis Stilton. Duke of... where was it now? He was a rude man, and a crude man, and a fool. Duke of Cheshire, that's him. And it's him to a T down there with Virginia. Nice child. They're laughing together. He's taking her hand. If he is staying, I'll summon up the energy. In memory of Francis Stilton, his unrevered ancestor, I shall do something special for him. Squeeze the breath out of him, maybe. Wake him with bony hands and stab myself 3 times in the throat. Scream in his ear, bleed all over his pillow, drive him to lunacy like his vile ancestor. Suddenly, Simon, a surge of the old energy. Suddenly, I do believe I could try a hollow laugh or two, frighten a maid or two for practice, do something special tonight in preparation for an assault on that golden-haired boy. I'll turn him white overnight.
Beautiful dreamer, wake unto me. Starlight into drops of
Sweet voice. If music with the food of love play on, give me excess of it. But surfeiting, the appetite may sicken and so die. He really could do it, old Will. Chose the right word. Bacon was an ass compared to the country boy. The child sings sweetly as dear Eleanor used to. I think it was what I missed the most after she cut her throat. Well, after I cut it for her. Stormy evenings by the fire and the lute player, and damn that lute player to hell. He had a slow going of it. I saw to that.
What's that? The ghost. The wind. It's the storm, Ginny. Go on. Play it on the piano. Oh, it is
okay,
beautiful.
Mama.
God, how I hate that self-satisfied young man, Washington. Forever wiping out the bloodstain, I'll wipe his satisfaction from him tonight. Reuben of the Red Barn, I think for him, and a quick change out of the blood-stained robes into Jonas, the corpse-snatcher of Chertsey Barn. I must remember the spade this time. The green phosphorescence, the wild eyes. Then crush the breath out of the Duke of Cheshire and turn him white. Yes. Then into the main bedroom and put a skeleton hand over Mrs. Otis's forehead and whisper sweet secrets of the charnel house into the trembling ear of Hiram B Otis, American minister. Yes. A little moan or two over Virginia, sweet child. And then the twins. Sit on their chests, stifle them a little. And then take out my single eye, throw off the winding sheet, and reveal only my bones as I crawl and howl over their beds. Finish by taking off my head and throwing it at them, where it promptly turns into a bat, and then, hey presto, into the woodwork and gone, leaving a gibbering, howling, lunatic family to be pitied and sorrowed over for years to come. Oh, yes, Simon, oh, yes. A grand finale. So, down to work. Prepare for your big night. Wonderful, Simon. Wonderful.
Did you get the candles? Yeah, 4 of them. Is that enough?
Sure. Well done.
I'm having nothing to do with this. I'm surprised at you, Cecil, honestly.
Virginia, there's no such thing as a ghost.
There is, however, a curious phenomenon we see from time to time. That's a fact.
Really?
And you're tormenting him. It's unkind.
Just go for a ride or something. Go say goodnight to Ma and Pa. Just leave us alone to do what we have to do.
Gladly.
Did you get the pumpkin? Sure did. Well, it's a turnip, really. But it's big. Mrs. Umney wasn't pleased.
That looks wonderful. Who carved it?
I did. I brought the sheet, too. It's a dust cover, I think. I found it in the attic.
Wow. Yeah.
So we're all set.
Leave it to us. We'll do the rest. See you later, Washington. Duke, you're sleeping next door to us, right?
That's right. Yes.
Oh, we'll give you a call if anything happens.
Fine. I'll just go and say goodnight to Virginia.
Oh, if I can give you some advice in that area, Cecil, I think I'd leave it tonight. She's very sensitive about the ghost for some reason. I mean, this ghost killed his own wife. He set people crazy, reduced grown men to suicide. She thinks he's hard done by. She gets bees in her bonnet. Maybe an early morning canter down beside the river? That would go down nicely, I think.
You're a brick. Fine. I'll turn in then.
Good night.
Good night.
Good. Voice in fine form. Good. So, down the back stairs. Careful not to rattle the chain. Leave the spade here for the quick change. Good. Down the main stair and...
Oh no! Oh no! No! I don't believe it. This is too much. That head, those horrible eyes, glittering down there and floating. The mouth, toothless and lipless, and vile. No, it's huge. It's huge. Then there's something on it. I dare not. It's a notice, a record of its hateful past, and a gleaming battle axe in its. No. Quit now, before he sees me. Quit. Tiptoe up the stairs and... Simon de Canterville, where is your courage? It's only a ghost. Nothing. A wisp of air. A friend, maybe.
Go and read what it says, Simon, on the notice. Read what evil he has done.
Anyone can do that, anyone. I'll do it louder.
Closer now. He doesn't move. What does he say?
I'm always forgetting my spectacles. What does he...
Ye Otis,
Ghost? Ye only true and original spook, beware of ye imitations, all others are counterfeit. Tricked! Chasmed!
by my father's sword. But by the honor of my mother, blood will flow, red murder will be done. I swear on the name of Canterville that, tricked by such paltry, stupid, foolish, unkind. Turnip and candles, and how unkind. I thought, just for a moment, I thought maybe a friend. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this loneliness.
He came down all right.
Well, how do you know?
The turnip head was crushed against the wall, the shroud torn off its frame. I'll tell you something else. The stain in the library, I checked, it's still there. But I think he's gone away.
I think maybe he's just given up. Superior force made him see sense. He took the bottle of Rising Sun lubricator for oiling his chains. It's gone from my drawer, and I've heard no chains for some time now. I think we've got rid of him, or quieted him down anyway.
Has anyone seen Virginia this morning?
I believe she's out riding with her beau.
Her beau? They're children.
How old was I when we first met, Hiram?
That was different.
How old were you?
I was... well, you were special.
And Virginia isn't.
Why, I can't approve, of course.
Oh, of what?
Any kind of liaison with an aristocrat.
Oh.
It goes against the democratic grain, my dear. Oh, I'll have to have a long talk to Virginia.
You will do no such thing. You will leave Virginia and her beau to enjoy the summer in this lovely place. Mrs. Umney, is Mr. Otis' study ready for him yet?
Good morning, madam.
Morning.
Sir, yes, it is. I came in to see that Umney, my husband, madam, has reported that some gypsies are camping on the edge of the forest. He wonders if we should move them on.
Do they do any harm?
Oh, take a few rabbits, rest a little from their journeys. They've always stayed. It's been a tradition.
They're God's creatures, same as you and me. Let them stay by all means. Will you tell Mr. Umney just to keep an eye out?
Yes, sir, of course, sir.
Boys, you have a lesson, I think, before you go back to school. Maybe you should begin it.
Oh, Mom.
This morning.
Yes, ma'am.
And Hiram, you can begin your book at last. The True History of the Democrat Movement and Party in America. It's high time.
Oh, it's a lovely day, dear. I thought maybe
This morning.
Yes, dear.
You cheated! You started before the off. Oh, look! I've torn my habit here and here. Mama will be cross.
Would I cheat a lady?
Yes, you would.
I wouldn't cheat you, Virginia.
No, I know you wouldn't. I know.
Are you still angry with me?
Very.
What did I do?
You hounded an old man.
Ghost. It doesn't exist, Virginia. I just... Well, the twins seem so keen. I thought your elder brother was only doing it for fun, too.
Fun? To tease a puck... I'm sorry. You wouldn't do it to a dog, would you?
No. No, I wouldn't, Ginny. I'm sorry.
Yes, I know, Cecil. I'm not really angry. A bit disappointed. Don't worry about it.
Is there anything I can do?
Yes. Race me to the house. I'll go in at the back of the West Wing before Mama sees the tears in my clothes. You take the horses on, yes?
Right.
Ready? Go! I'll go on up. I might find Mrs. Umney and she might mend it for me. You take the horses back to the stable. Cecil.
Virginia.
I didn't cheat, Cecil. Not a lot.
I'm in love with you, you know.
Yes. Now, the horses, my dear. Hello? Is there any... Oh, dear.
Miss Virginia, you will forgive me if I don't stand. I haven't been too well lately.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, don't be. Things will be all right, I suppose.
Don't be. I find you hunched up here in this dingy room at the back of the house sighing. I am sorry for you. My brothers are going back to Eton tomorrow. If you behave yourself, no one will annoy you.
Miss, it is absurd to ask me to behave myself. Quite absurd. I must rattle my chains and groan through keyholes and walk about at night. It is my only reason for existing.
It is no reason at all. You know you've been very wicked. Mrs. Umney told us on the day we arrived that you had killed your wife.
I admit it. It was purely a family matter and the concern of no one else.
It is very wrong to kill anyone.
Oh, God preserve me from the cheap severity of abstract ethics.
I'm sorry?
Eleanor, my wife, was very plain, never had my ruffs properly starched and knew nothing about cooking. I remember a young hind I shot in Higley Woods, magnificent. She... Oh, no matter, it is all over.
But you did kill her.
And her brothers put me into a room and starved me to death. Yes.
Oh, my dear. I had no... Oh, Mr. Ghost. I mean, Sir Simon, are you hungry? I could find something in the kitchen.
No, thank you. I never eat anything now. But it is very kind of you. You are very much nicer than the rest of your horrid, rude, vulgar, and dishonest family.
Stop that! Stop it! It is you who are vulgar and rude. And as for dishonesty, who stole my paints to make the ridiculous blood stain in the library?
It may be ridiculous to you. It was my only reminder of my wife. However unpleasant she was, it was a reminder of happier days.
It is no excuse for stealing every color but white and indigo. I could paint nothing but moonlight scenes, and they are very hard. And you had green blood. Ridiculous!
Yes, well, it is hard to find real blood these days. And your brother began it all with the stupid Paragon detergent. As for blood, the color is a matter of taste. The de Cantervilles have blue blood, for instance. I know Americans don't care for things of this kind.
You know nothing about it. The best thing you could do would be to emigrate and improve your mind. My father could arrange it, and though there is a heavy duty on spirits of every kind, there'll be no difficulty about the custom house, as the officers are all Democrats. You'd be a great success in New York. I mean, people would give $100,000 just to have a genuine ghost in their house.
I don't think I'd like America.
Because we have no ruins and no curiosities?
No ruins, no curiosities. You have your cities and your manners.
Good evening. I will go and ask Papa to get the twins an extra week's holiday.
Please. Please don't. I'm so lonely and so unhappy, and I really don't know what to do. I want to go to sleep, and I can't.
Just close your eyes and count to 100.
I haven't slept for 300 years. I am so tired.
Oh, you poor, poor ghost. Have you no place where you can sleep?
Far away, beyond the pine woods, there is a little garden. There the grass grows deep and long. There are the great white stars of the hemlock flower. There the nightingale sings all night long, and the cold crystal moon looks down, and the yew tree spreads out its giant arms over the sleepers.
You mean the garden of death?
Death must be so beautiful. To lie in the soft earth with the grasses waving above one's head and listen to silence. To have no yesterday and no tomorrow. To forget time, to forgive life, to be at peace.
You poor thing.
You can help me. You can open the doors of death's house, for love is always with you, and love is stronger than death is. Have you read the prophecy in the library window?
Often, when a golden girl can win prayer from the lips of sin, when the barren almond bears, and a child gives away its tears, then shall all the house be still, and peace come to Canterville. I don't know what they mean.
They mean that you must weep for my sins because I have no tears. Pray with me for my soul because I have no faith. And then, if you have always been sweet and good and gentle, the angel of death will have mercy on me.
Yes.
You will see fearful shapes in the dark, and wicked voices will whisper in your ear, but they will not harm you, for against the purity of a child the powers of hell cannot prevail. Can you? Will you?
Yes, I can. Yes, I will. I'm not afraid. I will ask the angel to have mercy on you. Yes.
May I kiss your hand?
You're so cold, and your lips burn me.
Come with me. Hurry, or it will be too late. Through here.
But the wall.
Come with me.
Mrs. Otis, have you seen anything of Virginia, Mrs. Umney? She usually joins me for tea.
Oh, I was remarking to that young rip, the Duke of Cheshire, that I had not seen hide nor hair of the bear and Mrs. Otis, not since early this morning.
Oh dear. You think...
I think nothing, ma'am. I do know the gypsies left uncommon quickly today. I'm not saying anything, mind, but...
Call my husband, will you please? And ask the staff if they will search for her in the house and the immediate grounds.
I will that, Mrs. Otis.
Now let's be rational about this, my dear.
Your daughter, my daughter, has gone missing, and you ask me to be rational?
I have alerted the constabulary. I have sent Mr. Umney to find the gypsies, and I shall call Scotland Yard later this evening if nothing has emerged.
Sir, we can't just sit here and do nothing, sir.
I hope you are not suggesting for a moment that I am doing nothing, young man.
Pa, we should try the railway station in the next village and see if she went further.
Exactly so, sir.
I am not eating dinner until I know Virginia is safe and home, and I can't.
Very well. I'll take 2 of the grooms and we shall go to the station and to the next village. We will also meet up with Umney and see if he has any information from the gypsies.
May I come with you, sir? Please, sir.
Yes, fine. Sure, my boy.
Can we come?
I am not losing you as well. You will stay right here.
I'll call the station. Alert them.
Come along, my boy.
Oh, my poor Virginia.
Girl, 17, blonde hair, grey eyes, American. If she come through Chesham alter, please. Her father want a word with her, Charlie. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes. He'll do what he can, sir.
Thank you, station master. Good evening.
Oh, I had the call, sir. From your son, I believe. There's nothing to worry about in my experience, sir. Children are always running away and running back home just as fast, sir. A night out in the cold and the wet, and back she'll come right as nightens.
Well, just call us and keep a watch for her, okay?
Yes, sir.
only we'd been engaged, this would not have happened.
I'm sure you understand the logic of that statement. I'm not sure I do. Now, home. That policeman was talking sense. Come on, home.
But sir...
Home!
It is 12 o'clock, Hiram.
We know the time, Mama.
The gypsies had just gone off in a hurry to get to the Cheshire Fair on time. The railway saw nothing. The policeman says it's normal. It is not normal.
I think we should all go to bed.
But, Pa!
I will call Scotland Yard for some detectives to be sent down instantly. Everyone can go to bed and try to sleep.
I shan't sleep. Poor Ginny.
Everybody, if you please.
But Hiram...
Yes, Mrs. Otis, you too. Please.
Mama!
Where have you been?
Quiet,
Quiet, please! Virginia, come and sit down and tell us what you think you have been doing.
I have been with the ghost. He is dead, and you must come and see him. He had been very wicked, but he really was sorry for all that he had done, and he gave me this box of beautiful jewels before he died.
Word!
Beautiful. Oh, my dear, dear girl.
Come with me, will you? All of you? He was taken down here by the brothers of his wife. He was put in this room, behind this huge oak door. And he was chained to the wall, where you see his bones.
Oh, Ma!
Life.
Look at that.
They left a jug of water and a plate with food?
Yes, just out of his reach. And they left him until he died.
My, but that's a cruel death.
And all the light he had was from that high window. He could hear the birds sometimes, he told me, and the wind and the rain. And for 300 years he has not slept. He sleeps now.
Hey! You can't see much from this window except the old garden. That almond tree. It's not the moonlight. It's bloomed.
God has forgiven him.
I am the resurrection, and I am the life, says the Lord. Whoever has faith in me shall have life, even though he die. And everyone who has life and has committed himself to me in faith shall not die forever.
Well, young lady, I think my ancestor owes you a great thank you.
No, sir. I'm glad he's buried under the old yew tree. He'll like that.
You're that bird. It's a nightingale.
He'll like that, too. Please excuse me a minute.
Virginia?
My boy, leave her to cry. Take the advice of an old man, sir. Lord Canterville, I think we need to discuss where you would like me to deposit the jewels.
Jewels, sir? Not I, sir. They are your daughters. They are not part of any estate I have or had. They are hers, sir, and I will not hear a word about them.
I'm not sure, Lord Canterville, that the daughter of a true democrat should have these medieval gauds and toys, sir. They may be necessary to the dignity of the British aristocracy, but are certainly completely out of place among those who have been brought up on the severe and, I believe, immortal principles of republican simplicity.
Hiram, hush!
My family agrees with your wife, sir. Egad, should I take them from your daughter, I have no doubt that Sir Simon would be out of his grave the very next day and haunting me. I admire her pluck, and I hope she will enjoy them when she wears them.
Do you, Virginia Eleanor, take this man, Cecil Henry James Collison David, to be your lawful wedded husband?
I do.
When a golden girl can win prayer from out the lips of sin. Here lies Simon de Canterville, at peace at last. It's a lovely place, Virginia.
Yes. I'll just put the roses. He'd like them.
Ginny, a wife should have no secrets from her husband.
Cecil, I have none from you.
You've never told me what happened when you were locked up with a ghost.
I have never told anyone.
Might you tell me?
I can't. Don't ask me. I owe Sir Simon so much. I really do. He made me see what life is, and what death signifies, and why love is stronger than both.
Well, you may have your secret, as long as I have your heart.
Oh, you will always have that.
And you will tell our children someday, won't you?
When the barren almond bears, and a child gives away its tears, then shall all the house be still, and peace come to Canterville.
In The Canterville Ghost, the part of Sir Simon Canterville was played by Edward Petherbridge. Hiram B Otis by Angus Macinnis, and Mrs Otis by Gwyneth Guthrie. Stripes was played by Eileen McCallum, Stars by Mary Riggins, and Mrs Amney by Rose McBain. Virginia was played by Anne-Marie Zola, and Lord Cheshire by Anthony Cochrane. Lord Canterville, Raymond Ross, the Reverend Dampier, John Buick, Washington, Paul Burchard, Mary, Penny Herman Smith, and Annie by Ali Walton. Penny Herman Smith, and Annie by Ali Walton. Penny Herman Smith,